Hey there, and welcome to Clear American English with Michael. I'm Michael, and I'm here to help you improve your American English pronunciation, work on your accent, and feel more confident when speaking English. If you've ever struggled to be understood, or if you're aiming to sound more like a native speaker, you're in the right place. My goal is to help you speak clearly and confidently in any situation. Now, here's the cool part about this series. It's all about audio learning. That means you don't need to sit and stare at the screen. Just put on your headphones and take me with you. Wherever you go, you can listen while you're cleaning the house, walking the dog, working out at the gym, or even commuting. You'll be amazed how fast you can learn just by listening. In this playlist, we'll cover different situations and examples to help you practice speaking clearly in real life scenarios. By listening regularly, you can reinforce what you've learned and start applying it right away. So let's kick things off with a situation we've all been in before, checking in at a hotel. You ready? Let's get started. First up, contractions. If you're not using contractions when speaking English, you might come across as overly formal or stiff, especially in casual settings like talking to a hotel front desk agent. Walking up to the front desk and saying, "I would like to check in," is grammatically correct, sure, but it comes across as a bit stiff and robotic, almost like you're reading straight from a script. So let's add a contraction. "I'd like to check in." You hear that? It's much smoother and faster. Here's another example. Instead of saying, "I cannot find my room key," say, "I can't find my room key." Or instead of, "I will be staying for 3 nights," say, "I'll be staying for 3 nights." Contractions are everywhere in spoken English, and using them will instantly make you sound more relaxed and confident. So let's practice. Repeat after me. "I'd like to make a reservation." "I'll be checking out tomorrow morning." "I can't seem to find the elevator." Great. Now that you've practiced contractions, let's talk about another way to sound more natural. Stressing the right words. Stress matters. It's what gives your speech rhythm, meaning, and clarity. Getting the stress right can make the difference between sounding natural and sounding awkward. Let's break it down with an easy example. You're at the hotel front desk and you want to emphasize that your reservation is under your last name. So you'd say, "I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic." Now, this sounds natural because it highlights what's important, your last name. But if you stress the wrong word like this, "I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic," it feels awkward and unnatural. Why? Because stressing have makes it sound like you're focusing on the fact that you have a reservation rather than the name it's under, which throws off the rhythm of the sentence. Instead, the right stress keeps things clear and confident. "I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic." You see how much better that sounds? Stressing the right word helps your message land exactly the way you intend. And when it comes to hotel reservations, being clear and confident can mean the difference between a smooth check-in and a lot of confusion. Let's try another one. You're asking about the hotel's amenities, especially the pool. If you say, "Is there a pool?" you're emphasizing your interest in the pool. But if you stress the wrong word like this, "Is there a pool?" it sounds like you're unsure. If the hotel even has a pool, you'll never know. So here's how to practice. Take a simple sentence like, "I'd like to check in," and try saying it with stress on the different words. "I'd like to check in, please." "I'd like to check in, please." "I'd like to check in, please." Do you hear the difference? Emphasizing check in highlights the specific action you're requesting. as opposed to something else like checking out or asking for information. I'd like to check in, please, emphasizes please, which adds politeness or urgency depending on your tone. So you can see how the meaning changes. Stressing the right word helps the front desk agent understand exactly what you mean. And when you're at a hotel, clarity is everything. You don't want any misunderstandings about your reservation, your room preferences, or the checkout time. Now let's talk about linking words. One of the biggest differences between native English speakers and learners is how we connect words. Native speakers don't pause between every single word. Instead, we blend them together to make our speech flow. Think of it like this. Words in English are like guests at a hotel. Instead of standing apart in separate rooms, they mingle and flow from one conversation to the next. That's what we call connected speech. And when you master this, you'll sound much more natural and confident. For example, instead of saying, "Do you have a room?" with every word separate, it becomes, "Do you have a room?" In English, the most common vowel sound is called the schwa. It's a short, relaxed sound that you'll hear in many words, especially in the middle or at the end of a word. The schwa sounds like a quick, soft or sound, and you can hear it in the last part of the word hotel. It's the sound you make when you say the second syllable quickly, hotel. In everyday speech, native English speakers often use the schwa sound in small common words like a or to. Instead of pronouncing these words clearly and strongly, they'll say them quickly and softly, almost like or tuh. For example, instead of saying a room with a clear a sound, a native speaker might say something more like a room. Instead of saying to the lobby with a strong oo sound, a native speaker might say something like to the lobby, to the lobby. Using the schwa sound in these small words helps English speech flow more smoothly and naturally. It's a very common part of the language that you'll hear all the time when listening to native speakers. All right, let's dive into some more real-life examples of how native speakers blend words together when talking to a hotel front desk agent. And remember, the key is that little sound, the schwa, which helps words flow smoothly into each other. I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic often sounds like I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic. The words have and a blend together, and the a becomes a quick sound. Is breakfast included? Often sounds like is breakfast included? Breakfast blends and becomes breakfast, with the final T sound softening. Do you have a room with a king bed? Often sounds like, do you have a room with a king bed? Do you becomes a quick do you sound. With a blends into with a. Okay. Can I get a late checkout? That sounds like, can I get a late checkout? Get and a blend into getta. Now let's practice saying these phrases like a native speaker. Listen and repeat after me. I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic. Is breakfast included? Do you have a room with a king bed? Is there free Wi-Fi? Can I get a late checkout? If it feels challenging at first, that's okay. And with practice, these phrases will start to feel more natural. And soon, you'll be talking to hotel staff with confidence, clarity, and smooth pronunciation. All right, so you've mastered contractions, word stress, and linking. Awesome job. Now I want to share with you one more key ingredient that'll take your English from good to great and make you sound like a true native speaker. Sentence melody or intonation. Have you ever noticed how native English speakers have a certain rhythm and flow to their speech? It's not just about the words they use, but also how they say them. This natural rise and fall of the voice is what gives English its unique melody and makes the language come alive. Mastering this skill is the secret to sounding like a native speaker and taking your English to the next level. Sentence melody is like the music of English. It's the way your voice naturally rises and falls as you speak, expressing emotion, showing interest, or even changing the meaning of a sentence. There are two main types of intonation: falling intonation and rising intonation. First, let's talk about falling intonation, which is especially important when making requests or statements at a hotel. Falling intonation happens when your voice starts higher and then drops slightly at the end of a sentence. It's like putting a period on your speech. It shows that your thought is complete and you're confident about what you're saying. When talking to a hotel front desk agent, using falling intonation helps you sound clear and assertive. It makes it easier for the agent to understand your needs or requests. Here are some examples. I'd like to check in. Say it with a gentle downward tone at the end. I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic. If your voice goes up at the end like this, I'd like to check in. It might sound like you're unsure or asking a question, but with falling intonation, you show confidence and avoid confusion. You can also use falling intonation when confirming something. Yes, I'll be staying for 3 nights. I'd like a room with a king bed. Please charge it to my room. Now let's practice together. I'll say each phrase and then you repeat after me. You ready? I'd like to check out, please. I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic. Please send up some extra towels. I'll be checking out tomorrow morning. Do you hear how your voice naturally drops at the end of each sentence? With this technique, you'll sound confident and clear when making requests or statements at a hotel, ensuring the front desk agent understands exactly what you need. Now, let's talk about rising intonation, which is the opposite of falling intonation. Rising intonation happens when your voice goes up slightly at the end of a sentence. In English, we use rising intonation to ask yes or no questions, check for availability, or show uncertainty. When talking to a hotel front desk agent, rising intonation helps you sound inquisitive and polite. Now here's some examples. Is there a gym in the hotel? Could I get a late checkout? Rising intonation signals you're asking a question. Are there any rooms available with a balcony? You can also use rising intonation when double checking something or asking for clarification. Is breakfast included with the room? What time does the pool close? And don't forget, rising intonation is great for expressing surprise or disbelief. The hotel is fully booked? There's a fee for early check-in? Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Is there free Wi-Fi in the rooms? Could I request a room on a higher floor? Is there a restaurant in the hotel? The room service is available 24/7? Fantastic. Remember, rising intonation is a simple way to sound inquisitive, polite, and engaged when talking to a hotel front desk agent or asking for information. It helps keep the conversation flowing smoothly and ensures you get the details you need for a comfortable stay. So there you have it, some simple strategies to sound clear and confident in English, especially in everyday situations like interacting with hotel staff. So let's quickly recap. Use contractions to make your speech flow naturally, like saying, I'd like to make a reservation. Stress the right words to add clarity and meaning, so you can say, I have a reservation under Mr. Fantastic. Instead of causing confusion at check-in, link your words to sound smooth and connected, just like saying, do you have a room with a king bed? Use falling intonation to sound confident and assertive when making requests, like, I'd like to check in. Use rising intonation to ask questions or show uncertainty, like, is breakfast included with the room? Remember, you don't need to be perfect right away. With practice, these tricks will feel natural and you'll speak clearly and confidently in no time. So next time you're at a hotel, try out these strategies. You'll be surprised by how much clearer and more engaging your English becomes. Guys, if this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tips, and leave a comment below. Make sure to check out the other videos in this playlist to practice and build your confidence. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences with using these strategies, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and learn about your progress. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, keep speaking, keep smiling, and keep enjoying the journey of mastering American English pronunciation.